Oh, okay. Now I know it's begun.
Yeah, there's a giant live icon right there.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Now I see the live icon and all that. So yeah. And you know what? I just realized. And yes, I know that we're rolling, and that's part of the fun of this. You remember, Dave, when we used to do this back in the day? We used to have some kind of theme or whatever to play. You remember? Now everybody sees it.
Yep, everybody's seeing us. And for some reason, everybody's gone quiet.
Is there a reason why I'm hearing myself?
No,
Somebody's
no,
mic,
I'm here.
somebody's mic might be
I'm
a little
here.
bit too loud, and
No, because when you start hearing yourself come back, that's all be fun. In any event, folks, hi. You can tell this is our first time. So, and I'm still hearing myself. Oh, this is gonna get crazy in a hurry, folks. Oh,
It
jeez.
is.
Is there any way we can make this not do this?
somebody's probably listening into the YouTube channel as well. So you gotta mute the
Oh, wait,
YouTube
no,
channel.
wait, hold on. Time out, time out. Okay, all right, let me do this. So, that's why. Okay, let me. That's better. That's probably my own fault then.
What?
Okay. Nobody else hears themselves?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
good. Okay, let's try this one more time. Like I said, hi, folks. This this is going to be something a little bit different, and for some of us, a little bit more of the same, because some of us are used to this craziness. My name is Brian Sinski, and along with the rest of the group here, and I will let them really quickly introduce themselves.
Let's start with Scott.
Hello, I'm Scott, also known as Sukune007 on YouTube.
You can look up at the camera, Scott.
I'm also cleaning the table too, so I still haven't I still haven't finished cleaning.
You're still doing that after all day, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
And let's meet the rest of the gang.
My name is Paul Williams, aka Wretched, here on YouTube, and I'm just pretty much the guy behind the camera mainly whenever we do some of these events.
And half the reason that we're here and starting this all once again, I'll talk about that in a second. Our fourth man here, David, that would be you. Or at least you're supposed to be there. I can tell you're trying to talk, David, and for some reason your mic's not coming through. But there is a fourth man here as soon as the microphone permits him to. His name is David Hammond, and but okay, he popped in for like half a second there. You saw a face, folks. I know you did. But in any event, when his mic works, here I'll explain real quick for him. Back in 2007, David Hammond started a hit the gear above the overhead. Okay. Oh no, you're telling him that. Okay, I didn't know
All
you
right.
could do that. Anyway, back in 2007, David Hammond started something a little bit different over on a website called Blog Talk Radio. He called it Game Show Talk and Fun. And it was a nice success for 2.5 years. We went from the fall of 2007 to the spring of 2010. And again, he's still trying to talk. You're in there somewhere, David. I know you are. But anyway, I'll just explain real fast. So after a 6-year absence, it was decided that we were due for a comeback here. And part of the reason for that comeback is why the rest of the three of us are here. We represent what it was called Lost Silver Productions. It's sort of created as an extension, I guess is fair to say, Scott, of when I was originally doing Sonic Whammy Enterprises, which was an outfit doing game shows around the anime convention circuit and things like that. I was doing that for the better part of 6 years, and then I had to unfortunately shut down 2 years ago. And in its stead, Scott started the spin-off, and that's where Lost Silver Productions came from. And as a way of getting ourselves out to more of you out there in the webverse, we decided the best way to do that was we felt Game Show Talkin' Fun was due for a comeback. But that's not the only thing we're going to be doing. We'll talk about that in just a second. So I just want to give, like I said, Paul gave himself a chance to introduce himself a little bit. Here, Scott, explain a little bit more about yourself and your background with me and the whole thing.
Well, I started with you about 3 years ago.
Well, no, more too. You started in 2014.
This is the third year. So that I started with you. We started over at Castle Point. Well, I joined up.
2014.
Yeah, I joined up with you there, and before that, I was working with somebody who shall not be named, but that's a whole other story.
You like using. One thing you're going to learn about Scott as we go, folks. He loves using when there's somebody that he doesn't feel comfortable about talking about. He uses that phrase, he who shall not be named. It's never the same person, at least I don't think so, but he likes to do that a lot. So be prepared for that a bit, folks.
Greg had it for a while.
Yes, I know.
And before that, I've been on YouTube for about God knows how many years. I started doing Let's Plays. Right now I do classic video games. Took a little break from that, so and just getting ready for Otakon.
That's true, yeah. Even when we're not doing shows, yeah, you still tour the conventions and things like that. And most of us are from the same area of the country. I'm from New Jersey. Scott, you're in Astoria, Queens, right?
Yeah.
I always make sure I remember. And Paul, you're from where exactly?
In the South Bronx in New York.
Okay, so a little bit of that. And the one who's in a bit of a different area from us, that would be David. And yes, David, we're still trying to vocally hear from you. For some reason, your mic is just not cooperating.
How about now?
There we go.
We got a voice.
Okay, thank goodness.
Okay, your turn. Introduce yourself. Speak to the world before it's too late.
All right, live radio, folks. Like I said, and hand me my sign, Brian. I didn't have my mic plugged in all the way.
Ah, so that's the secret.
Yeah. Okay, like Brian said, we started this back in November of 2006. We had a good thing going. It lasted for a long time. And then things happened, life happened, and we had to step away for a few years. And now 6 years later, we're back, and we're ready to try it again.
Yep, and we talked about this over the last several weeks with our old producer from back in the Blog Talk days, Dan Berger, who I know he may not necessarily be here, live at this particular moment, but he knows that we're doing this right now. He'll be checking in from time to time, so he has everything going in that regard. So he's making sure we're keeping our noses clean and all that business. So for that much, Dan, we thank you for the help too. So let me just explain everything, because like I said, this is not, like I said, while we're calling this Game Show Talkin' Fun in a sense kind of right now, it's not really, at least not for tonight, because this is not really going to be a performance live show, let's say. I know performance sounds like an odd term, but like I've said in the preview material that I sent around to a lot of our friends, this is just sort of an introductory show to just first to introduce ourselves like we have been. And oh wait, yeah, Dave, you didn't say like I said, we're all from the New York, New Jersey area, but you technically are from
I'm from West Virginia.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. So he's in a little bit of a different area from us. But in any event, but the purpose of this, because we're going to be doing a couple of different things, unlike the normal, the original game show Talk and Fun, because that's just going to be one of two formats that we're going to be doing in the days and the weeks to come. So part of this introduction is, aside from just meeting us, giving us a chance to explain what it is that we're going to be doing here over the coming weeks, and to let you know when and where to see different things, as well as when and where to see us, because all the time we're going to be also still doing our conventions and things, and we're going to let you know when we're going to be in certain places and things, so you can see our shows live. And any of our past shows, you're going to be able to see them in here on the Lost Silver Productions YouTube channel. We've got plenty more videos coming up. However, oh yes, Paul, don't forget, you got to give me your voiceovers for the next Card Sharks video. So as soon as you got that, I can put that up next week.
Yeah, I'll
Deal?
probably put that up after we're done with this.
Okay, good. Yeah, just send me those voiceovers and we'll go from there. So we're going to have that, but we're actually not going to be just catering to the game show fans anymore. We're still going to have Game Show Talk and Fun the way that it's always been, and we'll give you a sample of how that format is going to work. But we're also going to be using that format in a whole new live show that we're going to be doing, which we're calling Convention Attention. And that show is going to be focused on everything from just everything in our other geek subculture that we're involved in, between the anime, the video games, the convention life as a whole. So that'll include cosplay, the next big conventions coming up. Not just necessarily the ones that we're going to be at, although of course those will get special attention. But we're going to have chance to talk about all those type of things as well. And as we go along, we encourage you, our listeners, whether you're hanging with us live in the chat room. How do I access the chat room here, by the way? Because I see we've got 3 viewers at the moment here.
Yeah, if you're watching it on the YouTube channel, you can see it on the right-hand side.
Okay, it's on the channel itself.
Right.
And
Okay.
real quick to those 3, to the people that are watching, if you want to go help us out, you can check us out on Patreon, look us up under Lost Silver, and also under GoFundMe. I started a GoFundMe account. You can help us out for that as well, too.
Okay, yeah, and I primarily put the link to the Patreon in the videos that we do, whatever. And basically, the purpose of the Patreon, as I'm digging some things out next to me because I want to be able to show these off,
is to help.
Go ahead, you can say it, Scott.
Yeah, is to help us get better prizes, like DVD box sets, like for instance, like this one here. But it's just an example. Also to help us out with programming, to get us new shows, so new software for our shows that we do, to help us travel and get to the places, and other incentives as well, which I'll let you handle.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, between Scott and myself, like I said, I've been doing this now with the convention game shows for, this is going to be 8 years for me now, and Scott's just starting his 3rd year. He's been doing this for 2 now with me, and on his own as well. And as said, we know we've always had a good thing going. We've had many classic adaptations that I've done both on my own and with Scott or whatever, and we want to be able to build and grow it. And as part of the incentive of getting you guys to join us and help contribute to things or whatever, we do have a couple of things that we want to be able to give you. One of the a couple of the bonuses in there, and they're listed on the Patreon. Like I said, patreon.com/lostsilver will detail them all. One of the bonuses that we have for our contributors is you can have a chance with, we've done Press Your Luck for a long time as one of our shows, and we have a few fan-created, as I call them, Wanimations, that we have inserted to the game. They're mixed in along with the classic whammies that were involved in Press Your Luck, and we want to be able to make more of them. And what we're allowing some people to to do is through the Patreon. If you contribute to us, you can have, if you want as an incentive bonus, you can decide what the next whammy adventure is going to be. We have ones created so far in the software for Link, Legend of Zelda, Samus for Metroid. We have one
Inuyasha.
Yeah, Inuyasha, right? That's always been one of our popular ones, the Inuyasha one. We have one for Sailor Moon, and we also have one which is a fourth whammy, an elimination whammy for Dirk the Daring from Dragon Slayer, the famous game over screen in a sense or whatever.
I gotta see that one.
No comment.
Oh, you've never seen those, David?
No, I haven't seen those. I'm
Okay,
gonna
I will have
check them
to.
out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to send those along. Yeah, because if you watch any of our videos, you'll see them. You'll see them in place. I'll probably have to send you a video, David, to the Dragon Slayer one because of the two Press Your Luck episodes that we have at the moment on this channel, nobody's hit a fourth whammy yet, so we haven't had a chance to show the Dragon Slayer one. I actually haven't had a whammy out in 6 years. Last time it happened was for me back in 2010. So it's been a while since we've had a chance to play, that one or the baseball one. So,
and I'm still trying to get the other one in.
So the other ones are available.
And I'm still trying to get the other one in.
Don't worry, we will. We'll get in there. And so that's one of the incentives for those of you that are interested in doing it. And the other one that we have is another one of our recreations, which one video is right now up on the channel here, and there's going to be another one, as you just heard me tell Paul, is going to be coming up in the next week, is we do recreations of, oh, hey, Jacob, I see you there. Hang tight, Jacob, for a minute. We'll get to you in a second, and put a shirt on. I'll explain who Jacob is in a minute. Anyway, one of the other ones that we do, we've done recreations of Card Sharks. And for me, Card Sharks goes back about 4 years. Some former, sad to say, friends of mine who I used to do Sonic Whammy Enterprises with, they gave Card Sharks as a suggestion of one of the shows to expand on when we first decided to grow just beyond Press Your Luck. And through the help of my mom, bless her heart for doing this when she was still working for our family printing and pre-press company. She since was retired from her position a little earlier this year, but she helped make the official cards for Anime Card Sharks, and check these bad boys out. This is the back side of what they look like, and as you can see, these are official spec to the way they were on the original show, 16 by 12. Okay,
I'm gonna say higher than an 8.
Okay, well, I specifically took the 4 main cards out, the ones that matter the most, the aces, because I want to give you an idea of what they look like on the other side, folks, because as another one of our Patreon incentives, you can, with the proper donation, you can actually, for when I flip the other side, we've got 52 cards here representing 52 different anime. You can have a 5x7 print of the not this side, not the back side, but this end that's got the print of the actual card value itself. So just to give you a sample with the aces, we've got Rei from Evangelion. She's our ace of clubs. We've got our ace of diamonds. Get out here. Is Inuyasha. And
Ace of
Ace of Hearts is, of course, Sailor Moon, as if you would expect any less. And of course, being that the Ace of Spades
on the Ace of Spades,
the superpower card, there is Son Goku himself. So these are just the aces. Like I said, we've got 52 different cards represented here. You can have a one of them of your choice as a 5x7 print with the proper Patreon donation. And one day I'll have to put up the video that shows all 52 again, because I made that several years ago. I'll have to put that back into play.
That level is $10 a month for the print.
Wait, it's yeah,
Quick
it's 12.
question.
It's 12 in monthly installments, 10 in one shot.
Yeah.
So
Question.
sure.
Card is Speed Racer.
Yeah, Speed. I've got him here. I believe he is the 7 of spades. If I could fish him out here, I know he's here somewhere. Yeah, because I've got the whole red deck here next to me. Yeah, we've actually got 3 decks here. Like I said, we've got red and blue for the main competition, and then we've got our special green deck for the money cards, so that we could always keep those going. Because
Well, there's our fire type, our water type, and our grass type.
that's the first time. That's the first time I've ever. I don't think we've ever used that as the description.
Well,
But
let's see.
that's an interesting way of putting it.
Red, blue, and the never released green that came out over here.
Right. but that's good. I'll have to remember that for the future.
Yep.
So yeah, and
What
we
was-
and we play it just like the real Card Sharks. We do our surveys, which we're gonna get those kick-started again and stuff like that in the near future. We're gonna do that. Where the hell did you go, Speed Racer? I swear he's here. So
He
and
went
I'm
to
sorry.
he went to go find Racer X.
He's so fast you can't find him.
She's there.
He-
Well,
It's okay,
Well-
Brian. It's okay. Moving on.
okay, like I said, he'll pop out here while we're in between things. I swear, we'll get him all fished out. In the meantime, though, but like I said, so we're gonna have the two shows that we're gonna be doing. Yeah, and here basically is what the timing format of those is going to be, because we're going to play everything on a 4-week cycle. So
Brian,
we're going to do our first.
let me cut you out for a second there. I want to mention something.
All right, go ahead real quick here. I'll take a bit while you're doing that.
Yeah. While you're fishing up, while you're looking for Speed Racer or Mach Go as he's called in Japan.
Okay, yes.
All
right, found him. Here he is.
One of our one of the shows coming up that's right now in development that me and Paul are working on is a recreation of the game show Gambit.
Oh,
Yeah, you're working on a whole
good
Wink
choice.
trilogy.
Good choice.
He's working on a whole Wink trilogy, David.
So we'll do, Gambit, Debt, High Rollers.
Yeah, we had our long discussion about debt. I know that.
Once we finally have that, I'm still working on making Gambit, even though it won't be performed this year. That'll be later 2017, actually. And what was the third one again?
High Rollers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, we just gotta get the dice.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Anybody? Well, David, do you know what the specs were for the dice on High Rollers?
Not offhand, but I can find out in a heartbeat. I mean, face it, I'm not trying to brag here, but I kept a lot of my contacts from the old days of GSTAF. I kept them all, so pretty much I can find out anything
All right.
about the specs about a show. So finding out what those specs were won't be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got my guesses to what it could be, but I'll trust David on whatever those specs are supposed to be. So we'll figure that out. So in any event, so here basically is what the cycle is going to be of how we're going to be doing this over the weeks to come. Because as I said, we've got 2 different shows that we're going to be doing. We're going to have Game Show Talking Fun, and we're going to be doing that, and we're also going to have, like I said, Convention Attention, which is going to be about the anime, the video games,
Fine,
and
I'll be right
consoles,
back.
and things like that. Go ahead, Scott. And so here's the cycle of how it's going to work, all right? When we do our first official show in, whether it be next week or the week after, we're going to figure out an exact date once we close up shop here for the night. We'll do our first episode of official episode of Game Show Talkin' Fun. Then in 2 weeks, we will then do our first official show of Convention Attention. So, and we're going to keep on flip-flopping back and forth between those every 2 weeks. So it'll be Game Show Talk Fun 1 week. 2 weeks later, we'll do Convention Attention. Then 2 weeks after that, Game Show Talk Fun again. We'll keep on alternating. And then in the weeks in between, we're going to do, it's not going to be a live show, but we're going to just do like little 5 5 or 10 minute inserts that were just are going to simply be like news in brief for the week, which we're just going to use to keep up on the current events in both the game show market and the anime markets as well, just so that this way we don't have to catch up on 4 weeks worth of material when we do the live show again for that particular genre. And we're still going to do in those news and briefs, we're still going to do a small taste of what we're going to demonstrate tonight within the first part of the format, but we're not going to necessarily do it, with like live callers over. You can still leave comments in the YouTube feed down below once you see those news and briefs, but it's just a way of still just allowing us not to burn ourselves out and but to keep giving you regular content and still a chance to offer your opinions on what's happening in the game show world or the anime world right now. So that's going to be the way that goes about. And I see there's a Charles in the chat room there checking in. Hey, Charles, good to see you. Let us know where you're from, and because I know of a Charles that might be listening in. I'm just curious if it's the Charles that I'm thinking of. So, and yeah, I can see we can see your chats on the YouTube video itself, guys. So please, by all means, if you got something to say and you can't get into the Google Hangout, which a couple of people are here as we go along, yes, just shoot us a message there. We'll get your comments in, because we don't want to be the only ones talking here, guys. We want to hear from you guys as well. So please, as we make our opinions, let us know what you're thinking of. Oh yes, Spring, Texas. Yes, it's the Charles I'm thinking of. Charles Berman, good to see you there. It's been a long time since those days of Otakon. I still remember when you came up for a live-action whammy. Yeah, who are you going to call? Whammy Busters! And you did that whole thing with because you had the whole outfit on, the proton pack, and the whole bit. So good to see you again, Charles. So, yeah, we used to do live-action whammies too, David. So,
Those I saw.
Okay, you did. All right, so you saw some of those back in the day, yeah. Because we invited cosplayers to be in the front row and to come up and do their own whammy things like that, just to keep it fresh. Yeah, old school. Yes, Charles, I got it. And yeah, so yeah, one day Paul, we gotta make a note. We gotta get that going again sometime. So we'll make it.
Oh yeah,
someday.
Yeah. We're definitely working on it.
Much of an opportunity to really get it in there. In recent times, but we'll try to get that kicked in again.
Yep.
So like I said, so Charles is there in the chat room, and like I said, I'm looking in the Hangout feed. I see one other face in there at the moment. There were two others for a second, but I think we lost one. But the other face that I see in there in the Hangout, I see one of my student friends from, because by day I'm a math teacher. I work in Belleville High School here in New Jersey, and the fifth person I see here in the Hangout list, besides the four of us, is a former student, graduate of Belleville. Double check me. I think it was just graduated. Was it last year or the year before, Jacob?
Oh, I graduated about 2 years ago.
Okay, it was 2 years ago. I lose track after so long, whoever. Yeah, but that's Jacob Soto, guys. So just welcome him to the conversation, the folds there. So we're glad to have you. So, all right. So I think I've given the basic knowledge of everything that's going to be happening here. So now let's give you a demonstration, guys, of the format and exactly what it is that we used to do on Game Show Talk and Fun in the old days, and that we're going to continue to do here. And we'll also adopt the same format for when we do Convention Attention. For that, we basically do two things. The first one, yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second, Charles. Don't worry, that's gonna be part of the conversation. We basically do two parts to the Game Show Talk and Fun and Convention Attention format. The first format is what we call Smash or Trash, which is essentially that we take the current news of the day, what's going on, the latest in the game show world, and when we do it, the anime and video game world. And we just basically, we go kind of round table with it and give everybody a chance to offer their opinion of whether they think it's a hit or a miss, as we call it, smash or trash. So that's how it's going to work. And so we go through all like the major topics of the week or the latest things that are happening on current shows or stuff like that. And then we get into, after we've done that for several topics for about 20 or 30 minutes, we go into our featured topic for the week, which could pretty much be just about anything. It could be a nostalgia conversation about a classic show. It could be something, a major item going on within the game show world, whether it be a specific type of show, whether it be conversation about GSN or now Buzzer. That's right, we've got two networks to discuss now, or even the networks, because we're going to talk about ABC in a little bit later. But it could literally be just about anything that we'll have a more intense conversation about. So that's really the way that this is going to work. And I'll tell you what, David, since this has always been your baby, I'll let you lead off the Smash or Trash conversation, because we have a show currently that is on the air that we got to render some opinions for.
Well, good to be back, first of all. All right, guys. I don't know how many of us are game show fans in here, but I know 3 of us are. Let's get right to it. ABC's
And if
version
you're not, folks,
of
just
To
wing
Tell
it. Sorry.
Yeah. ABC's version of To Tell the Truth. Smash or Trash. Brian, go.
As I hold up my symbol I can only do this with my left hand for some reason, so I can never understand why. I can't get it to go with my right hand. Can anybody do this besides me? I'm just curious. Because this was always the universal symbol of To Tell the Truth, the way it always was. Anywho, is anybody taking a look at? Okay. I was wondering if anybody else was trying it. So anyway, I did get a chance to take a look at it earlier today, and I did notice, there are some things that it's still the format that we know, but I know obviously for the now audience, they're trying to do a couple of different things. The biggest thing, though, that I saw that was different, that perhaps turned me off a little bit to it, was the idea that host Anthony Anderson, who's also on ABC with Blackish, as we know, I noticed that he interjects himself a bit into the questioning and the conversation that the celebrity panel is trying to have with the 3 contestants. And that's a bit of a turnoff for me, because it becomes a question of that the host is trying to put himself above the game. And that gets a little bit irky for, because we've seen that happen in some shows in the past, especially when you have a comedian trying to be host. And that's one of the things that I find a little more on the trash side about it. The game is still good, but it's going to teeter a little bit if he keeps that up too much, I think.
Yeah, I figure if anything, the focus should be more towards the audience than the host, if not the game.
Welcome to the conversation, Jacob.
Thank you.
Right. Jacob, let's get your opinion on To Tell the Truth. Smash or Trash, go ahead.
I actually have never heard of Smash or Trash. Or
well, wait, that's just our
truth.
concept. So no, we're talking specifically about the game show.
Tell
the truth. Yeah. Just to give it, in case you haven't seen it, Jacob, just to give you an idea. Essentially, the way the format has always worked is that you have three people all claiming to be the same person. And there's a backstory that goes with this particular person. And a panel of 4 celebrities will just basically interrogate them for a span of about 5 minutes or whatever, and they'll respond to the questions in whatever fashion. The person who is the legitimate person in question, they have to honestly answer truthfully to everything that is asked of them in relation to the story that they brought to the show. The other 2 people may or may not be giving you factual information, so they have the ability to lie through their teeth. And essentially, it's a question of how well can the 3 of them as a whole fool the celebrities, because once the grilling is done...
And based on how they fool them is how much money they win.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. No, that's exactly how it goes. So,
Now, I'm going to interject right there because I don't know if they kept that portion of the game in the ABC version that was aired this past Sunday. I know everything else that you guys were saying is still true, but nobody mentioned anything about paying the person who told the truth or paying the three participants any kind of money. So that's the one detail that ABC has not discussed in detail.
yeah, I noticed that too. That was something that, yeah, because normally when the voting is done, they will normally indicate, while the voting is happening, they'll say, we'll pay our team of challengers X amount of money for each incorrect vote. But in this version of ABC, they made no mention of exactly what, I mean, I assume that they are still paying the contestants. They just aren't
We
indicating
just don't know what amount.
right, exactly. Because the last time that To Tell the Truth was on was back in 2000, and I remember in that one they were paying $1,000 per incorrect vote, and even in that one they let the audience vote too, so there was a maximum of $5,000 that could be split amongst the players.
No. Hold on. It was $1,000 for every incorrect vote. That you have right. But if the panel managed to stump all four panelists and the studio audience, the challengers won $10,000.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, they doubled. Originally it was 5. They doubled it to 10 later on. So like I said,
Right.
but they've made no mention in the current version of what the payoff is for them. So, but I can only assume that they're going to there is got to be some form of monetary payment in thing.
They're
So
definitely going to compensate them at least for time. Like even as I tell people about, say, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, they will compensate you for time. ABC. So I'm guessing they're going to get something.
we can only hope so. But so Jacob, coming back to you though, that's what the format To Tell the Truth is and what it's always been and stuff like that. And the and so but in general, for what I was saying a few minutes ago, the idea that Anthony Anderson is interjecting himself a little bit. You said that didn't sound cool to you either, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to the fact that, like, I know it's about the celebrities and you fool the audience and whatnot, but I think it should be more towards the audience so you get better reactions out of them than just like the host.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake. There's a lot of interesting stories that you hear in the course of these things or whatever. Like I know in the premiere episode last Tuesday, they had one person on that used to date Taylor Swift in high school, which I thought was very interesting. They also had the world's fastest texter that was one of the contestants in a later game. And I also noticed I didn't if you guys saw it. They actually in that texting game they actually played 2 games in one because rather than introduce the because after the game and they reveal who the real person is, Jacob, they'll usually have the imposters indicate who they really are and like what they do for a living and stuff like that. But they did something a little bit different this time in that before they introduced the other 2 people, they indicated that one of them has a story of their own too. So they played a game within a game and re-grilled the other 2 people about the new story. So what do you think of that?
I didn't hear much of that because the video was kind of messed up.
Okay. Well, because of the when they did the one last week with with who the world's fastest texter was. Once they revealed which of the 3 was the real person, they then rather than revealing who the other 2 people were, they played a second game immediately with just the 2 of them because one of the 2 of them had a story as well. I think it was that they were a world champion pole dancer. I think they said that they were. So, but the idea was they just played again with those 2 people about the story, for that one.
Okay.
So,
Sorry
so
about that.
Yeah, so that's the way that that one went. From that aspect, guys, what do you think with regards to like I said, playing the game within the game? What do you think of that? You think that's a good idea or no?
Hmm.
What are you doing, Jake?
Mother.
Somebody calling for you, Jake. So there you go.
Live radio,
Um,
folks. Live podcasting.
Yeah, we had plenty of this back in the day too, where where odd and interesting moments happen from time to time. But here, David, jump back to you because you haven't given a smash or trash opinion on any of this yet.
It. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's kind of a. It's. Hold on one sec. Hold that thought.
Your microphone is kicking on you a little bit.
No, it's more along the lines of I had some people coming through my room here where I'm having the broadcast, and their voices were coming through on the mic.
And we'd like to thank that gentleman very much for walking right through our shot.
Okay. The game is sound. I will say that. It is, to tell the truth. I will admit. Was Anthony Anderson my first choice of host? No, he wouldn't have been. I probably would have picked someone. It's hard to say who I may have picked from the ABC lineup. Heck, I'd just throw it out. I would have said Tom Bergeron to host this. But
Yeah,
Anthony
that would
trying
actually,
to get himself involved in the questioning, like you said, it's not working. At least not with me. If he wanted to inject himself into the voting, I would say into the questioning, I should say, not the voting. But if he wanted to inject himself into the questioning, he should have a vote, and I don't think he should know who the person is, but I don't think he does, because none of the hosts know who is who the person telling the truth until they ask, will the real X stand up?
Now, was that the same on the original black and white and every other version?
Yes.
Yes, the host does not know who the truth teller is until he asks, will the
Okay.
real
For the
host
purposes
stand up?
of, well, not so much as in the original tape, but so much for the later editions, for as far as avoiding the lawsuit and everything like that. ABC tries to keep everything on the up and up. They don't want to repeat 21.
Which one?
So
well, to tell the truth, was never scandal involved. I know that for a fact.
Right.
Any of the Goods and Todman game shows were never scandaled.
Right, but I'm saying post 21, they're trying to avoid anybody.
Hold on. Interjection here.
Right.
Go ahead.
Quick interjection here. While Goods and Todman were the producers of To Tell the Truth, they were not the creators of the show.
Right.
That was Bob Stewart?
Yep, it was
Yeah,
Bob
well,
Stewart.
yeah, that was Bob Stewart.
Oh, the Bob Stewart. Which I think in the pilot it was called Nothing But the Truth.
Just recently aired on Buzzer 2 weeks ago, so, and that was, and even that kept mostly true to the format, but you could tell it was a little slow. I did save it, so it was good.
The one episode I did watch of To Tell the Truth because I was looking for it, because it was mentioned in a book that I was reading. The guy that wrote this book was on To Tell the Truth, and he was also on I've Got a Secret.
Ooh. And we'll get more into that and the other things in just a second. But anyway,
Yeah.
so Dave, as you were saying though, but in general, are we leaning more towards smash or trash on To Tell the Truth?
This is one of those where it's smash and trash. Smash that ABC got it right. Trash that Anthony Anderson and the one or two little elements they've added kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Other than that, it's the game show we all remember.
Yeah, and at least for that part, it's doing its service. But we'll see. Real quick, Charles is interjecting here, whatever. Yeah, he's kind of leaning in both directions with you too, and stuff like that. So he's saying it's kind of both smash and trash. Yeah, feel free as you go along, Charles, to venture a little bit of your reasoning and the opinion. He has a question though for you, David, with regards to why you're saying Tom Bergeron would be a better host. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you about that too, because I believe that because I know Bergeron is kind of really like out from ABC. Well, he does have Dancing with the Stars, that's true, but like I know he's not doing AFV anymore.
No,
Alfonso
that's
Ribeiro is doing
yeah.
that now.
He's not, but he's still under contract with ABC because of Dancing with the Stars. He would have been a logical selection, in my opinion, but they went a different way. Anthony Anderson, to me, will always be one of the detectives on Law and Order. I'm sorry, I just can't see the guy as the game show host.
I understand that, yeah, and considering that, to tell the truth, was always more of a more low key thing, because with these stories it does play a bit more seriously or whatever. I could see, well, actually, here, I'll save my thought for when we get into the more in depth thing and stuff like that, because we have our next big thing coming up. So, but let me see. I think Scott, I think you're the only one left that hasn't ventured a smash or trash opinion on the new To Tell the Truth.
Okay. So I didn't
Scott, you with us in there?
Let me see if it went direct deposit.
Scott, who are you talking
Scott,
to
I
there?
think he's on the phone.
Scott, get off the phone!
Folks, you have to forgive me. I am a diabetic. I will drink while we're on the air. It's just something I've got to do.
Oh, don't worry about that. No, I've seen you taking a swig of something as we've gone along, and no, I know it's safe. Hey, I'll just say this, folks. I'm not afraid to say it. When we did the radio show back in the day, we were not afraid to make ourselves sound like idiots sometimes when we were making our comments or trying to run this thing live or things like that. But hey, thanks to video, now we get to look like idiots too. So just keep that in mind, that anything can happen with this at any given moment. Okay, Scott, are you back?
Especially if our producer Dan gets involved one night.
Oh,
you never know what is going to happen.
Yes, and there are still, if anybody wishes to search them out, I think if you YouTube Game Show Talk and Fun, you could probably find some audio bits from those radio days that Dan saved, where he saved some blooper moments, several of them at my expense. So
there was one. I'll just put it out there right now. There's one where we got the whole frappin' lot of you.
Oh yeah,
I mean the whole lot of you.
Yeah, he liked to play some fun with music, particularly, and stuff like that.
And the one, I'm sorry, it's still hilarious to me to this day. Let me just throw this out there real quick. We were in the middle of we cut to our intermission, and we started our intermission with the theme to Family Feud. And then about 30 seconds into it, we kind of slowed it down a little bit, and Bruce like, huh, what? And we cut to the theme to The Young and the Restless. And everybody's like, no!
Yep. Yeah, this was all within a theme discussion about The Price is Right that given to remember. That was,
Yep.
Who knows? But anyway, okay. Scott, are you back with us?
I muted him because he's not even actually able to hear us right now. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's putting on his headset. Unmute yourself, Scott. Unmute yourself on the Hangout. Unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
No, I'm trying to figure.
Okay, now Scott, back to your turn. Okay, your smash or trash opinion on the new To Tell the Truth.
host, I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a try, like I did with the with the guy from can't think of his name, the one that took over doing Pyramid right now.
Oh, with
Michael
Straight. And yeah,
Straight.
we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle on both until I actually see it.
We're all kind of up and down on that. So hopefully it'll work himself out. I mean, granted, now these were taped back last fall or whatever. ABC hasn't had a chance to find a spot to air them until now, but they've got plenty that are airing right now in
We've got
terms
Battle
of.
Bots, we've got Celebrity Family Feud, we've got Pyramid, we've got Match Game. Heck, the whole Sunday night block is game shows this summer.
Yeah. Now, to tell the truth, though, is on Tuesdays. Which night is BattleBots again?
Sundays. It's all night.
Whoa, wait, what time is
I'm
BattleBots
pretty
then?
sure. I thought it was Sunday nights anyway. It was last summer.
Okay, because I don't know what it is now. Because I know Feud's gonna be on at 8, then Pyramid at 9,
okay.
and
Yeah.
and Match Game at 10.
Yeah, it
Right.
says that
All right, then.
they will give it to me within 24 hours. So it's going to take a full day.
What
It'll
are
probably
you,
be a bit more.
Scott? What are you going on about?
I'm just gonna keep doing this so every single time he keeps getting off topic. Scott, unmute yourself.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm checking the lineup right now to find out when.
Okay,
BattleBots
no.
will be on.
Charles said it right here. BattleBots will be on Thursdays.
Thursday nights this summer. Okay.
Yeah, and he says for him it's at 8 o'clock. So, and he's in Texas, so that's Central Time Zone. So I would presume that would mean 9 o'clock on the East.
Right.
Okay, so there's that. All right, so we got that figured out. All right, now while we're on the subject, so now that we've demonstrated how Smash or Trash is going to work, and we do this for about 4 or 5 topics of the week, whether it be news bits or whether it be Actually, here, wait. I want to do one more Smash or Trash topic, if that's okay, because flipping over to the anime and video game side, there's a major one that came up this week that I know a lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are heavily feeling on the trash side with this, and that is the rough start to the debut of the highly anticipated video game Mighty Number 9. Now, for those people that don't know what Mighty Number 9 is supposed to be, a lot of people several years ago were a bit upset about Capcom with the Mega Man franchise because the original. Some say he's the original creator of the game, and some people say that he's not. I can't remember his name at the moment, but the Japanese guy who was most heavily involved with the Mega Man series left Capcom, but Capcom continued on without him and produced 2 more Mega Man games, Mega Man's 9 and 10. They were released on the Wii Virtual Console, but some people felt like, no, they don't have the true feel of all the other Mega Man games. They're not technically official titles and things like that. It's like, we want a real Mega Man 9. So the guy who was responsible for the other ones, he went for years and years and years trying to get funding and development to create what was supposed to be the true Mega Man 9, and he calls it Mighty Number 9. Now you know where the name came from. And it finally debuted this week, and I've heard that it was not met with a lot of good opinions and things or whatever. Scott, you know a little more detail about this, I think.
This is all brand new. This is all news to me because I'm not a Mega Man fan, so I wouldn't have even touched this game.
Well, Mega Man in general maybe, but when you hear about some of the things that happens with this, it really.
Oh, by the way, Liz, welcome to the group, hon.
Yep.
Hey, Liz, you made it.
I did. I was here a little bit at 7:30, but my internet does not like me.
Let me here. Paul, David, and wherever the heck Scott went, I'll introduce you real quick. This is another one of my good friends, Liz Reed. You live right. You're down in the Baltimore area, right?
Yeah, but I'm visiting my parents right now, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and our internet likes to disconnect at random. It's sad.
Yeah, I first met Liz on the convention scene, guys. It was at the first New York Comic Con when after they merged the Comic Con and the Anime Festival. That was in the
The
fall.
only one.
Well,
No,
yeah,
that was
that was
two.
the
That
only
was
one
two.
that was a true merge. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
There were?
Yep. The first year it happened, and the next year, and then it completely fell off the map.
Yeah,
Right. Oh, I remember hearing about that fallout.
yeah, we did a survey about I did a Card Shark survey about that the year after once it really seemed like the anime disappeared and things like that. I'll bring that survey back up sometime in the future. But yeah, it was New York Comic Con 2010 where I first met Liz. She was a contestant in Press Your Luck that particular go around, and I remember that first one you didn't do very well at all.
Not at all.
You got blitzed by the whammy really quick. You almost bombed out in the first round.
Yeah, I had a rough competition.
Yeah, but
Has that ever happened?
has a bomb out in the first round? No, it hasn't or whatever. Thankfully, she only had to try to do 1/4 whammy dodge in that first round. I had somebody who a year earlier had to dodge 7. Somebody passed them 7 spins on 3 whammies in the first round, and the person made it through all 7. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, but Liz, I know that, like I said, she bombs out early at New York Comic Con, but she came back the following summer at Anime Next, and she redeems herself. She won that time, and I remember even we went to Otakon that year or whatever. You got up on stage for Family Feud, which was not my game, but you got up and won that one too. So I've easily considered you, Liz, our game show groupie in a sense.
Well, and you know
But
what's
then,
funny?
well,
Back that year at Otakon, that year that I went up for Family Feud, it wasn't actually me that was called up. It was my friend, but she freaked out, and she was like, Liz, I've watched like one anime. I don't know what to do. You have to go up. And for that one, it was probably a good thing that I went up, because that actually took some anime knowledge. But you know what? When we went to Press Your Luck, she got called up for Press Your Luck.
Oh, she got called.
And she tried to put me up there. I'm like, no, I
you're not getting away
literally
with
can't
this.
go up unless my number is up. They will not let me. It has to be legit.
And you remember my reaction
But at
when you
least with,
stood up. I'm like, no, really, not again.
At least with that though, it was a multiple choice. So like if you don't have a ton of knowledge, you have a chance still. You have cats all around.
at least you have a second chance with the spins.
Which was always true. Yeah. All right. So anyway, getting back on topic here for a second. Now we've had to introduce you. So let me see. Scott, you were telling me some of the things about what happened with Mighty Number 9, right?
Yeah, but it's still. I think it's still in. They're still producing it or something. It's still.
It's
still early
It came out
access.
this week, and bad things have been said about it.
Everything's bad been said about it. Right now it's in. Well, you can go to the Steam store right now and buy it, and then you'll see that you're buying early access to the game. Pretty much, you're paying for the beta test. That's essentially what's going on with that game. And every possible thing that could go wrong has gone wrong with that game's launch, and yeah, not many people are enjoying it, but a few people still are.
Yeah. Didn't I hear that it actually bricked some PS4s?
Yes, I've heard that bit. I've heard that story too.
For those not familiar with the term, yeah, brick means that it froze to the point that it rendered the entire video game system inoperable. Can you imagine losing the ability to use your PS4 altogether because of one game?
They said the same thing about with the update for Cancale for the Vita, that if you get a game over on the on your home base hexagon that it could potentially disrupt the data in the game. You could
Yes.
basically,
You can lose the data to your game.
yeah, but I think
that would
between,
scare the hell out of me.
but I
But
think
losing
they fixed
data,
it.
that's not destroying your system. What happens then? Like, those are expensive.
Yep.
You
Well,
send, you
Yeah,
send it to
exactly.
Sony. You send it to Sony and they fix it.
no, they don't fix it. They
Oh,
send you a
okay.
new one.
Okay.
Or
The ones
whatever.
you're
Fine
under
then.
warranty.
Yeah. But
It-
so
it-
far though, given the extreme false start that that Mighty Number has had to this point, I think we're all in pretty much agreement that definitely its beginning has been trash. We're in
it-
fair agreement on that.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to give you trash on that one. Even though I'm not a fan of Mega Man, I have heard about the problems.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't buy it, not yet anyway.
No, not. I just won't play Mega Man in general, but I respect the series for what it is.
Yeah, and of course, worst of all, the supposed comments from the creator about the whole, hey, it's better than nothing, which I think that's going to become a sad pun of the series. I think for now and evermore, unfortunately.
Dr. Wiley is trolling us.
Who knows? Who knows?
There is I know I'm getting off base here, but it's something I wanted to do back when we were on the air the first time. Well, not even when we were on the air the first time. Since we've been off the air, we've lost a crucial member of our crew.
Oh yes, yeah, that's right. Yes, thank you for reminding me about this, Dave. Yeah, we want to make sure we got that in because David and I, guys, were not the only ones that did this originally back in the day. Because we had several other people involved with us on this, including Gordon Pepper and Jason Block of Game Show News Net. And I know I've talked to Gordon, and he said if he has a chance to chime in sometime in the future, he'll pop in once in a while. And we also had a good friend up in Canada. His name was Alan Mitsugi. He
Right.
was our little mini game creator that we did we did stuff with in intermissions on certain things. He ran little mini trivia contests, just little face-offs between us and things like that.
He was the one that ran the Game Show Summer Olympics.
Yeah, I did
Yes,
that
he
originally
was.
in the first. Yeah, I did that originally in the first summer we did in 2008, and then he took it over in the years that followed. But here, David, I'll let you explain. Yeah, just what happened in the time since that we went off the air in 2010.
All right, for people that don't know, Alan was a diabetic. He was on dialysis for years. We have been praying, hoping that he would get a transplant, a kidney transplant. Thankfully, he eventually did, but what we found out later was that the very dialysis treatment that was saving his life was also killing him. He developed, I think what they call it is dialysis leukemia. And tragically, we lost Alan in 2012.
Right.
And I remember that because Tiller did a whole remembrance show on him.
Yeah. For those not familiar, yeah, referring to Michael Tiller, who used to do Game Show Talking Fun's sister show, Game Show Temple Live, which I know he's listening out there somewhere. Hey, T, Michael. So.
When he's not busy with class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's at college quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so definitely as we go along with this and we're doing our things both on the game show side and the anime side, yeah, he's just as much with us in spirit as everybody else with. Yep, you're right, Charles. He is with God now, absolutely. So
Yeah,
all right, so in any event, so now, all right, we got that business that way. Okay, so now we've explained the Smash or Trash format. We've shown how that works. Now, as I said, once we get done with Smash or Trash in any given show, there's always going to be a central topic for the week. It'll be advertised on the on the YouTube description and things like that. And for this, for our demonstration of the essential topic, and yeah, Scott, I thank you for this one. We were well, because we were trying to look for a topic to start with, and you kind of stumbled upon it. And Dave, I'll let you start with this because we know we're looking forward to the big summer of games that's going to start majorly on Sunday night with Celebrity Family Feud, the new $100,000 Pyramid End match game. But there's a big question that we're all answering: is that with ABC doing such a big resurgence, could they stop here? Is there more that they could do? And if so, what should be next?
Well, let me see. What's my line?
I have one that's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
Maybe they could bring back Name That Tune or Face the Music.
You with the music shows.
ABC actually explored that option a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they actually filmed a pilot of Name That Tune with Donny Osmond as host.
Oh, wow, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, they actually did film a pilot for a possible Name That Tune revival. It ultimately didn't make it to air, but it was filmed.
Huh, go figure.
And probably Sandy Frank has something to do with it.
Not necessarily.
He owns the rights to it, though.
No, remember what I talked about rights? You can't own a format, so ABC could go ahead and do another show, but they would just have to reformat it in a different way. And since we don't know what...
Well, I can pretty much attest that Sandy Frank was involved.
Okay.
All right, so then he probably kept it true to classic.
I do know.
Well, what I do know about it, I don't know how we got there. I don't know what the game was to get there, but I do know the golden medley was you had to name 14 tunes in the span of 16 seconds. 60 seconds, excuse me.
I was going to say 16?
No, I stumbled. 60. You had to name 14 tunes in a span of 60 seconds. But if you were successful, the grand prize was going to be $1 million.
Oh, okay. So they were really going all out for this one.
Right.
Yeah. But in any event, but let's see. But in your case, David, like what do you think in terms of like what should be the big one next if ABC tries to do another revival? What should they go after next?
People are gonna look at me like, why this one? But you have to forgive me. I'm a fan of Ron Greenberg. Always have been. I would love to see them pull the Big Showdown out of retirement. I really would. I would love to see the Big Showdown back on TV.
And
I would love to.
The look on your face, Brian, said you thought I was going to pick something else. I would have liked that one too, but for this particular case, I would like to see the Big Showdown.
Yeah. The other thing you're thinking of, I'm gonna deal with that, but that again, that's another discussion for another time. But yeah.
Just as long as Jim Peck doesn't fall down those stairs again.
Liz, if you've never seen what we're talking about, there's one surviving episode. It was a show
plus the pilot,
the 75. It only lasted for 4 months. But if there is one surviving episode you can find on YouTube, like I said, it's called The Big Showdown. And the one episode that survived, Liz, it was very infamous in the fact that the host, when he entered in at the beginning of the show...
Brian, let me cut you off for a second. Let me cut you off. I'm going to cut you off for a second.
Why?
Wink has the pilot.
What?
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah. So there's 2 surviving episodes: the pilot and the one from when it was a series. But the idea was the host, his name was Jim Peck, Liz. He came. There was a flight of stairs in the back wall of the studio. He would come down those to start the show, and just as he got toward the bottom, his foot missed the step. slid and
He
crashed
pulled
on
he
his
pulled
butt.
he pulled a Gerald Ford.
Oh my!
That that
You
that
you
would
can
be
find it. A lot of people have it on
Send
YouTube,
me
so
that.
you'll enjoy.
They
that would be
call it the
one.
big fault.
Someone send me the link to this, and I will watch it when I have good internet.
That would be one show I
Really?
would like to do on the Megamix circuit, the big showdown.
I thought about it
Incident-
too. Yeah, we just got. We'll have to work it out and stuff or whatever.
Incidentally,
it was a nice format. I think it should have lasted longer. Okay, all right. So
Incidentally,
go ahead,
there's
Jake.
incidentally, seeing that we're talking about the big showdown here, another fan of our show, well, he was actually one of the contributors to our show, Andy Geller. He was in the audience that day when Jim Peck took
You're
that.
kidding.
No, he was there.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, wow. To be involved
I
in
asked
history
about
like
it.
that. A very odd history, but a history nonetheless.
What
I
about
asked him about it.
one I would like to see them bring back is now this is a Nickelodeon game show. Call me crazy. I'd like to see them either bring back Finders Keepers, Make the Grade, or Think Fast.
All right,
ABC? Are you
Make
kidding?
the grade or Finders Keepers, I'll agree with you. Think Fast wasn't exactly my favorite.
No.
What about Get the Picture?
Now that would work too.
Oh, yikes, man. We're really reaching out of the box with suggestions here. Now, wait, you said a minute ago, Scott, when we first asked the question, you said you were interested in maybe seeing a What's My Line revival.
More like how they did it on Nickelodeon with Figure It Out. How it was a combination of What's My Line and I've Got a Secret. Something like that. And even on the Wikipedia page for Figure It Out, they even mentioned that they borrow elements from the two Goods and from those two shows.
Yeah. And even then, if you consider this, the last time What's My Line was an actual show in syndication from 68 to 75, I've always... there were some times where even though they were playing What's My Line, that it did incorporate more of an I've Got a Secret kind of thing, because not every contestant was there regarding job occupation. It was involving some other sort of thing that they had some sort, whether it was a hobby or some other kind of thing like that. So they even had a mishmash kind of going there. And we know that, I think, was it out in California, they have a live version of What's My Line that still occasionally gets done. It's and I think.
All right, if we're reaching into the Goodson Todman library, Tattletales.
Nah, I don't think we could do Tattle. Well,
TMZ kind of renders Tattletales obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would kind of say no to Tattletales.
Wouldn't work. Tattletales wouldn't work in 2016.
Yeah.
Tattletales
It would have
divorces.
It would have if TMZ doesn't exist, but considering it does now, it's worthless.
All right, what about Tic-Tac-Toe, Gambit?
Gambit, maybe. Card Sharks, maybe.
Not the 2000 version.
Hell no.
Tic-Tac-Toe would.
Right.
Now Tic-Tac-Toe would, but you'd have to have the right host.
We'll get Wink to come back and host it.
Technically, we had a Tic-Tac-Toe reboot. That was
We don't talk about the '93 version.
No, I mean Hollywood Squares.
That's its own separate show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Tic-Tac-Toe and Hollywood Squares were two entirely separate shows, Paul. Yeah. Yeah. One was just the two contestants doing trivia on the Tic-Tac-Toe board. Hollywood Squares was with the celebrities in the squares answering the questions, and you had to say whether they were right or wrong. So that was the basis there. So yeah, two entirely different things that were going on here. Yes, Charles. No rapping dragon. We promise.
What about?
Well, here I'll tell you what. Here, Scott.
Joker.
Because I know you've offered a lot of ideas here. Here, Paul. What would you think in terms of what would be good for a revival?
All right, so I can't obviously can't use anything that's like on syndication today. I would say Sail of the Century, and maybe I don't know if they could get away with renaming it, but maybe Trump Card, maybe.
Okay, now wait now both of those shows. I'm gonna
Right.
interject here. Both of those shows are very good quizzers.
Right.
And I agree.
Go out on a limb.
And I'm going to agree with David because me and Paul have done Trump Card.
Right.
Yes, we have.
We have. And David, believe me. And David,
Sorry,
believe me. No. We have it set up where we can play the U.S. version, or we could throw in that fourth player and play by the U.K. rules.
I don't know if we want to go ahead and complicate things with the UK version.
No, I mean in the UK version, we just if we have the 4-player rule, we just eliminate the categories altogether, and the game becomes a straight general knowledge thing.
Then you would have 500
And the
questions
first
of
one to
4 players.
15 wins.
The first one to cover, the first person to cover up their board wins the game. Still.
No, then you would have 500 questions of 4-player edition. I'm good. No.
Don't scare me with 500 questions. That's its own beast on ABC.
That's something Paul.
Questions here all night.
But
That's something Paul wants to do.
At some point in time, I'm not saying I'm not rushing to it now.
please don't.
All right.
We'll say that for another night, please.
What about
I
the
mean,
chase?
ABC doing the chase?
Very good show.
Oh yeah, it was.
And what about ABC doing the chase? Or Pointless?
ABC thought about doing it.
What about Pointless?
ABC thought about doing it. Fox thought about doing it.
Well, ABC
Hell,
also
Fox
thought about doing
it.
right with Bradley hosting it, and ABC also thought about doing the exit list.
Yeah.
The only problem is they would need airport hangar size studio, and outside of Television City, I don't think ABC has access to any of that.
All right. What about?
I think they only ever tried to do a large setup like that once ever before, and again that was going back to '75 with the Money Maze, and that did not serve well because the costs of that were way too much. That's why Money Maze also had a short life.
That was with George Clooney's father, I believe, right?
Nick
Clooney.
Yeah, Nick Clooney,
Yeah,
right.
Nick Clooney. It was a Ron Greenberg, Don Lip production.
What about the Crystal Maze?
No,
I don't know anything
show?
about Crystal Maze.
that's that kid show from.
No, Crystal.
That's Masters of the Maze.
Oh, okay.
No, David. You're thinking Masters of the Maze.
Crystal Maze is a kid show from England.
It wasn't kids; they were adults in that show.
It was adults. Okay, I remember Crystal
I
Maze now.
thought it was kids.
No, it was adults.
No, the kids one was Masters of the Maze. That was on the Family Channel.
Right.
That one I could see them bringing back maybe like on Sun. What about Monopoly?
No, Monopoly
No.
didn't work then. It
Speaking of
wouldn't work
which,
now.
hold on. While we're on that subject, Dan wanted me to mention this. He wanted to do a Smash or Trash about this, and I can understand why he wanted us to. I mean, I just now checked my my Facebook feed for this Monopoly Millionaires Club.
Oh yes, yes.
I give it
Smash or Trash.
Smash.
Now, let's be clear about one thing. The only reason why, and this is actually kind of funny, seeing Mark Goodson play Family Feud.
All right. Thanks a lot, Liz, for being with us.
Yep.
This is actually kind of funny.
What?
Seeing Mark Goodson play the Family Feud.
Well, Mark Goodson also filled in for To Tell the Truth. He filled in for Charles Nelson.
No. I know what he's.
Playing.
I know what Paul's talking about. No, he's probably watching Buzzer right now.
Yep.
And as part of the hype for the summer games, they put on some special Celebrity Family Feuds this week. One of the sets was the Hollywood Walk of Fame week of primetime syndicateds, and on the guys' side, Mark Goodson was playing, and not very well.
Mark was playing his own game and was stinking up the place. Okay,
It
that's
wasn't for lack of trying. It's just the answers weren't popping up.
Well, then again, how about when they had the Prices Right versus the Young and the Restless?
Okay, well that was on Ray
oh
Combs' thing. Yeah, so no,
yeah.
that's something else. But anyway, all right. But
All
anyway,
right.
Dan Berger was Dan Berger was asking real quick about our opinion on Monopoly Millionaires Club. We know that it's gone now, sadly, and I think it's a shame. It should have deserved a longer life.
I agree.
I'll give you some backstory onto it. It wasn't shut down because of poor ratings. It was pretty much shut down because the lottery conglomerate behind it pulled out from backing it because according to them they didn't get enough ticket sales to justify paying for it. Hence why the format changed in season 2, and it was just like, we can't fund this no more, so we're shutting it down. And that was
So,
pretty much it.
so basically, they
One-
caught themselves. So basically, they caught themselves before they pulled a pitfall.
Right.
I can
You with
say
the
one thing.
puns
Had,
again, Scott.
had the show went to season 3, my state, West Virginia, was going to get involved with the promotion.
Ah.
Ah.
Just missed.
What about
Yeah.
Pitfall? Could that work as a revival?
Now, no, you know what this is though, Scott, and I think we got to all come to a little bit of sense about this, because I mean, all of the shows that a lot of us have listed here, that we're looking at a lot of guilty pleasures and things like that. We're looking at the stuff that didn't necessarily last very long. So you're talking, because like I said, you're talking about the Big Showdown. You're talking about the kids shows of Finders Keepers and the other
All
things.
right, if we're talking about shows that didn't.
You notice a lot of shows. Hang on one sec, Scott. You notice that a lot of shows that are being revived right now. Like I said, they've all had long-running classic, runs and things like that. And even coming into this, I know that part of the reason that this topic is even being discussed is because of the fact that I know that there have been rumors that the next thing that ABC might try is they're mulling over a revival of Password. Which I don't know if I would go after that one next. It makes the most sense, but
And they're going to get Betty and they're going to get Betty White to host it.
No.
No.
Please. So
No.
who knows? No, they wouldn't go that far.
But if it's Password, they have to at least have Betty White on.
Oh, you got to figure.
Oh, they'll have her, no doubt. She's part of the. I think I read somewhere that she's one of the guests on Pyramid. Am I wrong about that?
Well, we know she's a regular doing To Tell the Truth. I'd have to look up the guest list for either Pyramid or Match Game.
Wait, wasn't Kitty Carlisle one of the regulars on To Tell the Truth back in the day?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
cool.
she was. From the 50s till the 1990 version.
Yeah, they did have her one time on O'Hurley's version just after the calendar hit 2000.
Yeah.
So this way they could say she was on the show for 6 decades. Yeah, the
But
50s,
Paula
70s, 80s, 90s, and the aughts.
And then Paula Poundstone was a regular on that show.
In the first season, and then she got in trouble.
Her infamous to tell the truth 2000, Paula Poundstone, I mean, is that many people, if you don't understand it, one of the rules of To Tell the Truth is if you have intimate knowledge of one of the 3 challengers, you have to recuse yourself from voting as to who is the real person.
And they did, and I saw the episode, and she did that.
Yes, she had to recuse herself because she did know one of the challengers.
Which is an automatic win.
Every episode after that, it came like a running gag is, I shouldn't recuse myself because of X, 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 and X, but I won't. And it just became an overworked gag that I thought should have been cut.
Gotcha. So we got that, but like I said, but coming back to the discussion here, so like I said, Password is rumored to be the next one that they'll go after if they go after another one sometime. I mean, like I said, it makes the most sense. I don't necessarily know personally if it's the one I would want most. I personally, we briefly mentioned Card Sharks here or whatever. I mean, passing. I think
How about
before he
Woo?
left. Wait, hang on. Before he left the chat room, Charles Berman mentions Card Sharks himself or whatever as a possibility. I mean,
What about Woo?
and like I said. I personally would like to see it mainly for the reason that, I mean, like, hey, the cards here aside, I've always been fascinated by the surveys that they did over the course of time, and even in watching the reruns on GSN and Buzzer constantly, it's just the idea that those surveys, many of them really do span the test of time, and I would be insanely curious with a lot of the questions as to hear how people back in the 70s and the 80s were responding. Be just as curious, how well have the times changed? How well, how would today's person? I would really love to see Card Sharks make a comeback.
How about Woo?
That could
Again,
work.
here we go with this. Again, here we go with the little stuff. You guys have an obsession with the little guys.
Because the little shows are the more fun.
Not to everybody, then.
Yeah, not to everybody. In some cases, as favorite as they are, there's a reason why some of these lasted as short as they did.
Well, there was one that I was going to mention before you cut me off.
Sorry.
Joker.
Oh, good one.
And Joker almost came back 10 years ago. It almost did.
That is a heartbreaker. Because
real quick, Dave. Yeah, explain the story.
Okay, a friend of ours, who is another friend of the show, John Ricky Jr., has been trying for years to get this show he created called Combination Lock on the air.
Right.
I have seen the preview videos. I've seen the videos that he's done with that.
It was linked to the revival of the Joker's Wild back in 2000. I forget what year it was, Brian.
No, it was 2006.
It was 2006.
I remember that it was 10 years ago in 2006 because when the news broke that it was going to get revived, Andrew and I were in Vegas at them on just a summer trip.
Well, anyway, the idea was that Sony was going to put Joker and Combination Lock as a block, kind of like Will and Jeopardy is. But this all depended on one thing. And
Mark
this
Summers?
one thing happened.
A
What?
syndicated version of Deal or No Deal.
Which happened, and because the syndicate version of Deal or No Deal happened, Sony pulled the plug on Joker and Combination Lock.
So where does John stand? So where does John stand on those now?
Development hell.
Yeah. And pretty ticked off.
Producer's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, hopefully, one day he'll get a shot at it again.
I'd like to see them bring back Split Second. That's a fun show.
Another possibility.
John Mickey Jr., he's still in the business. He's worked on other productions. He has something to do with Pyramid. And I know he had something to do with Family Game Night.
Did he have anything to do with
Family Game Night and Scrabble Showdown, the Game of Life over on the Hub, now Discovery Family.
Question,
he had things
David,
to do with that, so he hasn't been out of the business, but he wants his baby on the air.
His baby got robbed from him.
David, quick question. Did John have a hand in doing MSQ?
I honestly don't know if he did.
Second quiz? Yeah, no, I don't think we ever heard anything with regards to that, but yeah. But one day, someday the time's going to be right for it. He will get his chance. I know he will. And we continue to cross our fingers for it. We won't be able to compete on it because we know him, but
I don't know him. I don't know him.
Okay, with the exception of you, but like I couldn't, David couldn't. Uh, so
We know him too well. We've been with him, since the early '90s when he was trying to get the show on the air the first time.
yeah.
I saw the
Oh
British
God,
version. I saw
yeah,
the
that's
British.
what I was going to say. If you haven't seen the pilot of Combination Lock, because two were shot. The original version was a British show, and then there was the pilot that was shot in 2006.
That was the one
Both,
hosted. That was the one hosted by Mark Summers, right?
Correct.
yes.
I could
And
get
then
behind Mark Summers hosting that. I could get behind
the
Mark.
one from the early '90s is more similar to the actual PC game that John created than
Right.
the 2006 version that Mark Summers hosted.
Well, here's a question for you. Do you think if we got permission from John, if we were able to do it as on the anime circuit?
I would go for it.
That's a reach. I would be scared to ask him, but I mean, no
Because,
sense in.
well, there would be a problem. I would see a logistical problem, mainly because, one, that's his baby, and two, we don't know what Sony has, tied up in it.
Right, but I mean, at least it wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't hurt to ask, at least, right?
Right? You can ask him.
No.
I'm not saying you can't.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave that to you, Brian. I mean, I already bugged. I bugged Travis to let me do Strikeout, and that's him and Tim Connolly's baby. But
Right, like,
Oh, I did Tim ever give you permission to do that? By the way,
Yeah,
because I would love to
he
see
did,
what that
he did,
looks
he
like
did.
live.
no, I got permission, and it's under a strict disclosure that if they ever decide to push it to the network, I just have to. I'm sure he'll let me still do it, but I can't record it.
All right.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever
I am
the case is, yeah.
Yeah, I am following the new format that they've completely changed up for it and everything. So
And you can
So
tell
we
me about
changed the
that
rules.
later.
yeah, he changed the rules instead of it being the three
Wait,
player.
we'll talk about that stuff off the air. 'Cause
Right.
we gotta cut this here now because
Well,
when we used to do
I'll
this back
quickly.
in the okay,
Well,
all right, real
quickly.
fast because we do have to cut this.
The only difference was now instead of having the champion compete in the last man standing, all 4 players now compete, and all strikes still do carry over, and it's
Okay.
no reset on the end game. So if you coming in with 7 strikes, you carry those 7 strikes into the bonus
There
game.
never was a reset in the first place. I remember. I still have
There
it.
was a
That's where the rules to begin with.
There was a reset. I think you would be dropped back down to 0 strikes for the end.
No.
We'll look it up later.
No.
We'll figure it out.
No.
All right.
I know the rules pretty well. No, there was not a reset of strikes anywhere in the game.
Okay. I know.
All right.
I know for the main game the strikes did carry over. I just didn't know for the bonus game if it was a fresh if you started fresh or if they carried over.
No, they carried over.
We'll look it up later. We'll figure it
Yeah.
all out. All right, but anyway, we got to cut this off here. So anyway, folks. So now you see how pretty much things used to go, back in the day. As you can tell, we sometimes get a little bit off tangent, but then again, when you're having a good conversation with friends, that, does kind of have a tendency to take place every now and again. But now you get an idea of what the format of Game Show Talking Fun used to be, and that's what we're going to continue to do here as well with the anime-based show when we do convention attention in 2 weeks following the first one. So for right now, we don't know just yet when we're going to have our first official. Is that over by you, Paul?
Yeah, that's over by me.
Yeah. Usually, because I know from our conversations, if there's ever any ambulance or cop car passing through, or whatever, it's been by your house. So,
Well, you got to remember,
anyway,
he lives up there by Yankee Stadium.
True. Okay. Fair enough. Good point. So, but like I said, but this is what you're going to see. We don't know just yet, folks, when we're going to do our first official game show talk and fun just yet. We might do it next week. We might do it the week after. We're going to try to figure out because we're going to, after we sign this off in a minute, we're going to get some collaboration goes a free night of the week to do these shows are, because I know we used to do game show talking fun on Wednesdays. I don't know if we'll go
Wednesdays
back.
from 9 till 11.
Yeah, did either 9:30 to 11 or 9 to, and whether our show is going to run from an hour or an hour and a half again, that's another thing that's to figure out as we go along. We just happen to go just a shade over an hour and a half for this one. It all depends. But yeah, we'll see how everything plays out within the time to come. So, but we'll just say this. Keep yourselves checked in here at Lost Silver Productions. If you've liked what you've seen tonight, please like us over on Facebook. Look up Lost Silver Productions, and we'll keep you abreast of when future shows are coming up. And like we said early on, please contribute to our Patreon and tell us about us too, because we really want to make both of these shows a really big thing like they used to be back in the day. I remember, Dave, you were telling me at the rate that we used to have a lot of downloaded viewership for Game Show Talking Fun back in the Blog Talk days.
For a time. I'm not kidding when I say this. For a time, we were the #1 podcast devoted to the television and reality game the television game show and reality show genre. We were the #1 podcast devoted to it.
And we would definitely like to be so again, and not just for the game show side. We'd like to bring the anime side in as well. And hey, crossbreeding is always welcome in intermingling. So even if you belong to one genre versus the other, come on over and see what the other side is like, okay? So, but that's the way we're going to do it. But just like I said, keep your eyes on our Facebook page with Lost Silver Productions, and we're going to let you know when when our first official. We'll start with Game Show Talking Fun when we do our first real show. We'll let you know when that's going to come up, and then once we do that one, we have that one scheduled. We're then going to do our first convention attention 2 weeks after. We'll do it same night of the week. Same time as we did it now. We'll keep it at 7:30, mainly for me because I have 2 kids. And when we used to do it at 9:30 is way too late for me because that's about when I got to get my kids to sleep. So that's the reason why we're doing it at a sooner time slot, from before. So we hope you enjoyed this little preview of what is to come for us here at Lost Silver Productions and for the shows in general. And hope you don't mind, like I said, us talking like idiots for an hour and a half. So any from you guys before we close this off?
Closing arguments?
Not even
I
necessarily
don't think
just
we're going to
closing
have
arguments,
any.
just anything you want to say to our audience.
Thanks for letting it to everybody that is watching on YouTube and is watching us on Google Hangout. Thanks. We're glad to be back. We've missed you, and we hope you come back again. We really do. It's for you and for all of us that we do it. I honestly hope you be with us to, chat about your favorite anime, chat about your favorite game shows. That's what we're here for.
And video games.
And video games.
Yeah,
I gotta forget that. And it's not all about game shows anymore.
Right. And of course we'll probably be in competition with JB and everything.
Not that we're trying, but
Yeah.
everything is all what it needs to be. And Paul, anything you want to say before we close this out?
No, I'm pretty much good here. It's been a fun time. I'll say that much.
It's interesting being in this universe with us, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all good. Well,
anyway,
we thank you guys.
Well,
no, go ahead.
Thanks. Anyway, in closing, I don't mean to take the closing line from you, Brian, because
No,
you
don't worry
did
about
start the whole thing. Folks, we thank you for being with us tonight. We hope that you tune in again when we officially relaunch Game Shitaka. For my colleagues over here, for Brian Zapinski, for our producer Dan Berger, who I know is listening.
We know he is.
We wish all of you the best, and we hope you'll tune in again. Until then, for all of us here, I'm David Hammond. Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys. We will see you.
And until next
now
time,
we
this is Scott Goldiner saying thanks for pressing your luck.
Jeez, you with the puns again.
No, Elliot.
Okay.
Elliot does the same thing when he ends his when we always.
I know. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop,
we gotta go.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, hit
now
stop broadcast.
All right. Take care, guys. We'll see y'all soon.